we've got two vegans here. One who it's a massive. Well, that's actually a question we can kind of nut out.
I'm not vegan, by the way. I eat dairy.
Do you see it as a performance advantage for yourself? And like, I kind of feel like in your content, maybe this is specifically more for you, Tyler. Like, would your channel be the same if it was just called Tyler Pierce?
I think about it almost every day. It would be easy to change on YouTube, be very hard to change on Instagram. Just the way that it, I got verified. Like if I had changed my name, I'm dropping that verification, and it's something I wish I hadn't gone down. But then I go back and I look at other people. Let's just say the Liver King. I mean, super popular, right? Like, and he used this dumb name, this screen name. I wish I hadn't done it. I've said this a bunch of times. That's not what I lead with. I never introduce myself and go, hello, I'm vegan and here's my name, right? Like I don't ever talk about it. It's a huge part of my life and I love it and great, whatever. But, I would say that I wish I had not gone down that road because it just stops people instantly from being open to some of the content. But with that, because everything is a give and take. So if there's a negative side to something, there'll be a positive side to something. And the positive side is that I've had a lot of people reach out and say, I know you never talk about diet, but it just got me thinking. And now I've changed my diet and I've lost 40 pounds and, I've stopped drinking alcohol. Like there's just all these crazy, amazing stories where people have turned their life around just because that's in the name. Not that I talk about it ever, but they just kind of assume, well, man, if he's eating clean, I guess maybe I could like slightly better my diet. And so, dude, that's like really cool to hear some of those things.
Jesse, like, so you're not vegan? Is there?
Oh, it's just fucking hard. Like, I don't know how you do, especially like if I was just at home all day and could just cook all my food, I could probably do it. But, especially when we were like traveling to races, when you're on the road and stopping at 2 petrol stations on the way to Victoria, if you're eating vegan, you're just eating shit because there's just nothing. Okay, like I could be better in prep food, but it's just having that option just to have the dairy foods is just better. There's just healthier options at most of the places we stop. So that's what kicked it. And now it's just like, I don't know, in a perfect world, I would not eat dairy because ethically I don't really agree with it. But anyway, I deal with that because my diet overall is healthier, including it.
I think that if you go in with like a health conscious side of it, 90% plants, you're going to be great, right? It's when sometimes you go in with like an ethical side of it, then you have to sacrifice your own health, and that's not where it's not why I got into that or made my diet that way. There's a lot of reasons why I'm plant-based outside of performance. It just works well with my life. I cook every single meal, right? So it works well for me. But the thing is that sometimes people go, well, there's negatives to that. There's negatives to everything, and one of the things is when you bring in like really high calorically dense foods like, steak and whatever, the amount of energy your body's like having to put out to digest that, it is what it is. But look, do whatever you're going to do, but if you haven't tried it, I think that's one big thing is sometimes people could potentially introduce a little bit of knowledge into their diet. Like just think about it a little bit.
I was just going to say, like the people that do go to a plant-based diet for health is like, they'll never last more than a year. Because because then you'll realize like, I don't need to do this to be healthy. So why the hell would you bother if you're just doing it for health? Like you can have a steak a week and health's not going to go off a cliff. So why would you do that for health?
Yeah, but you just said the word like plant-based. Plant-based is different than vegan. You know what I mean? And that's what I advocate to a lot of people is just like, if you can primarily have your diet be based on plants, it's better than going 100% vegan, because then there's other aspects to that are difficult. And, you don't want to ruin your body long-term just because in principle, I'm going to starve myself and I'm going to eat Oreos because that's the only thing I have. Like, well, dude, that's not.
I think there is a thing though, like, If someone like eats predominantly plant-based, they might have some sort of food allergy. Like Ben Carmen, for example, he's allergic to soy. So if he didn't know that and then went vegan, his health would fucking go down the toilet. But it's just because he's allergic to probably one of the main food groups he's going to be eating at his main meals. So
which was what happened to me. Sorry, but which is what happened to me is the soy basically was blocking my iron intake. Or my intake's not the right word. The right word is absorption. And that was, clearly then. Now the question is, did I put my body in that circumstance by just suddenly, all of a sudden, one day loading it with soy? Like literally on Tuesday, I decided soy was my massive, protein intake, and like just everything was dumb.
People hate soy. There's going to be so many comments on this video. By the way, in defense of soy, I drink soy milk and I eat tofu regularly. I'm a soy boy. So yeah. No, let's not go trashing soy because it can be healthy if you're not allergic to it.
Well, but isn't that's what's so interesting about diet is that someone can be on a carnivore diet and a vegan diet, and if it works for their body, they both can have these experiences saying, oh, it cured every disease. This is the way to go. And so that's why I've never been like a martyr for it. I don't go, well, this is how you have to do it because it worked for me. If a full carnivore diet works for you because of whatever issues you have with your body, and that's, like some people, kale, it's like poisonous to them, and there's a genetic component to all this. And so for whatever reason, my gut biome processes plants really well. I've had my blood work done many, many times. It's, not an issue. I did start taking creatine.
Did you get some weight gain on that?
No, I was worried about like water weight or whatever, but as long as you're tracking your calories, which I track my calories. I mean, to me, calories in, calories out. Like maybe your muscles hold on to a little more water or whatever, but look, if you overeat by 1,000 calories, you're going to put on weight.
Thanks so much for watching. If you are on YouTube, make sure to whack that like button, hit the subscribe, and of course share it on with your mates. If you're listening on a podcast player, please do leave us a rating, and we will see you next week.